Erik is trying to recover. He almost looked like he was wafting, like trying to get that smell, that taste of victory back. But Samay says, "Let's go,
Oh,
H4."
H4. And who
Okay.
is this guy's opening coach? My gosh, he's like hooked up on all the latest stuff. H4 is considered nowadays to be actually a full-fledged weapon against the King's Indian. It's not just a tilt opening. It's been played by Magnus. It's been played by all the top GMs.
Oh, but I don't like what just happened.
It's
So
not
first of
C5.
all,
C5 is bad.
first of all, D5 wasn't great by Erik. He should have went D6 because you need a chisel at White's pawn structure, and then C5 closes the position up. And now Black is behind in development, and the king is going to stay in the center for a while. But by closing the position, look at this: Bishop G4, E6, Knight D7. You can see that Black can finish the development with ease because there's no tension.
Yeah, and somebody should have taken on D5, kept the center open as you're indicating. White is still doing fine. It's not like White is worse. But given Erik's dubious opening, it seems like he's recovering. And again, Samay eager to give up his dark squared bishop, and he might pay for that if Erik's bishop eventually resettles onto H6.
Yeah, it seems like Samay has a clear preference for knights over bishops, and Vishy Anand, he's kind of renowned for showcasing that knights are great pieces, and he likes to keep those on the board, but he's been too eager to give up his bishop. I agree.
Indeed. And rook h3, rook f3, knight h7, knight f6. I'm loving these maneuvers, though.
And knight f6, you have to give up the dark squared bishop, so we were just talking about how you shouldn't always do it. Here you have to, otherwise you lose the rook on g. And have to is strong. You could give up an exchange as Black because the position is so close if you don't want to allow the pawn coming to f6 after knight f6 check bishop takes.
And an instructive moment after knight f6, bishop f6, I think a lot of people would be tempted to take with the rook and say, well, I have an outpost, why would I give it away? But it's kind of like transforming and giving away one outpost for another. What was that?
Queen takes h4?
Or knight b5, but queen h4 was more straightforward. What was knight b1?
I think he recognized his knight could be better placed. He wants to bring the knight to g5, I'm guessing. And so he... But now queen h4.
Queen h4 and everything collapses.
Yeah, everything falls apart.
And that's a mistake you'll see sometimes where you have a concept in mind that you're excited about, such as improving your pieces. You know, and I've had this with students, and you'll just misapply it, right? You won't sense the right moment to do it. And your desire to, to execute that maneuver overtakes your objective evaluation. And you sort of don't look as carefully as you should at the situation on the ground.
And it also goes to show you how important a pawn on d4 is, because it protected with c5 and e5, and everything just is lost now. Single pawn.
Nothing remains, and every single piece is going to be lost if Erik goes bishop f4 check.
Oh.
Because there was a really cool line. Let me just quickly, bishop f4, king d3. It might seem like White recovers the piece, but no, bishop f6 and bishop takes b2.
Gosh.
That would have been funny. Erik is still completely winning here. Bishop h6. Possible.
Not just possible. Very, very strong. He goes knight h6. Okay. He's also
What's with the backward knight maneuvers this game?
I was going to ask. Oh, he went to castle, and the f7 pawn was under attack.
Okay, that makes sense. But now he's going to push his e-pawn.
He's also well ahead in the clock. So this has been one of the best games from Erik. And well, the King March was... He's not going to have a better moment than that.
No, that was amazing.
King to f2, that whole game. But he's playing a really nice game in the 3-minute time control because he's ahead on the clock. He's up several pawns. And he's really made no mistakes outside of the opening where he wasn't super familiar with what to do.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, he plays systems that he's familiar with. So even though he sometimes gets dubious positions, he knows a lot of the ideas, and he's able to recover in the middle game. And now d4, f4, I mean, the position essentially plays itself. I like knight e2.
You want to go after...
Am I aiming for f4 and maybe rook b3?
Oh my gosh.
Wait a second. There's a mate threat. There's a mate threat.
There's bishop e5, which is maybe the only move here.
Samay's threatening mate.
Oh my goodness.
God, hold your breath here. Buckle your seatbelts. Erik realizes this is dangerous. He leans in. Will he see bishop e5? You have to control the b8 square.
Wow. I mean, that if you didn't have bishop e5, rook b8, rook b7, as you're pointing out, is checkmate. There are ways to escape because the black can go d7 to e8.
Go ahead, Robert.
I think Erik's here.
Hey, help me out.
Okay, Erik. So he's threatening rook b8 check, rook b7 checkmate. You need to play the move bishop e5. That way you cover the square. And in the future, you can play rook e7, which will allow your king to escape d7 to e8. But first and foremost, bishop to e5. Make sure you cover the b8 square, and then if he plays rook b7, you have rook d7 to trade rook. So just make sure that you cover b8. That's the most important thing, and then try to take over the 7th rank.
Appreciate it. He's going lifeline.
Oh man.
Uh-huh. Oh, I thought Samay was calling in as well.
Samay is calling in.
Samay, can you hear me? Hey, Samay.
Tell me, I can't hear you.
Hey. So here's what I would do. I would go knight f7 here.
Okay, and then?
If rook d7, you take the bishop and then you have checkmate. You have rook
All
b8
right, thank
followed
you.
by rook b7. Otherwise, you take the rook, get your knight on e2 active. Try to put it on d4 if Erik moves his bishop away from e5. You can also play
right.
f3 and chase the knight away. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
Wow, your advice was so much better.
No, it's only because there's a concrete line. If Erik moves his rook away from d7, I wanted to make sure Samay knows about knight takes e5.
Yeah, I told him to keep his bishop, but I didn't say was so focused on trying to cover the 7th rank that I didn't say knight f7, bishop c7. Just save your bishop. Who cares about your rook? Save yourself.
But
Save your king.
I'm vindicated. Now we know it was on Erik's end. Now we know he was trolling.
I don't know if he was trolling. Apparently it wasn't a troll, but either way, Samay is taking this game for sure.
40 seconds for Erik. I mean, even if he finds the right move at this point, he might flag.
This is on me for sure. I didn't give him the full scope of the advice.
Bishop c7, he plays it.
Hey!
And let's see if Samay remembers to get his other knight active on d4. Oh, he does. And let's see if he plays f3 afterward. Gets rook b7 in. Ooh, he's in charge now.
He really is in charge. And like knight takes f2, the pawns start rolling for black, but the king is in so much trouble there.
Yeah, 20 seconds for Erik. He's probably not going to make it here. He takes f2 though.
There's rook b6, which is such a sick move.
He plays rook b7, Erik going knight d3, going after that c-pawn. Knight d3 is a great move.
Wow, seriously great move. And rook b6. Oh, take on e6.
Rook c7 though.
Trade.
What's going on? Trade in 13 seconds.
d4.
Gotta push. He's got 10 seconds. He's going f4. Samay will take the pawn. Who?
And knight c5.
Rook c6. Oh my god. And look at Erik's pawns. Yeah,
but he has no time. Knight takes a4. Pre-move. Take a4.
Oh.
No, wrong direction. Oh, knight g3 check.
Knight g3 is a huge threat. Samay needs to move his rook. Or
Knight
his
g3.
He was a5. No, but the a pawn is unstoppable.
Yeah, but there's. Oh my gosh, the king is perfect.
Oh my god, the a pawn is going to promote. My god, what a game.
Wow.
Oh my lands.
But Erik's reacting, and I still take the blame for it because I didn't prepare him for the response. Even he needed to save time. He spent so much time at that moment. So, he got himself into a bit of a